Hola amigos, happy Fridays. We are here in Doha, Qatar. This is From the Field, half an hour show about the World Cup that's almost over. Let's start like we always do with the headlines. Morocco looks to continue making history for Africa against Croatia. Argentina seeks to stop the 20-year drought of no World Cup trophies for America. France seeks to repeat what they did in Russia. Qatar prepares to celebrate National Qatar Day on the same day as the World Cup final. Today was a day with no matches. Tomorrow there is going to be the one for the third and fourth place, and Sunday the big final. But the big news today here in Doha, Qatar is the big number of Argentine who came the last minute and they want to find tickets to go Sunday's game. So far it's really difficult. Let's go to see why. Another day with no matches in Qatar 2022, but with a lot of emotions. The Albiceleste supporters have brought their decade-long dedication to football to the Stadium of Qatar, and they cannot wait until Sunday match against France for the final. Some of them complained that they came all the way from Argentina and the resale for tickets to the final could cost more than $2,000. Morocco fans are ready to cheer their team for tomorrow's match against Croatia. A third place for an African team would be historical, and they want to witness in person. The French national team has a few players who have symptoms of flu. Here they call it like the virus of the camel. What's that? This is one of the 5 stories that has Charlie Montero.
Fernando Santos has stepped down as Portugal head coach 5 days after Qatar 2022 World Cup quarterfinal elimination. Flu strikes the French national team. Kingsley Coman is also affected by a virus that has infected several French national team players ahead of the World Cup final against Argentina. Simon Marciniak will be the referee for the World Cup final between Argentina and France. He has already officiated Argentina in their match against Australia and France in their match against Denmark. Puerto Rican artist Ozuna will be at the closing ceremony of the FIFA World Cup. Moroccan player Amrabat has great stats of the World Cup and is considered one of the best midfielders of the tournament. He is the player with most recoveries with 51, most distance covered at Qatar 22 with 70 kilometers, and the player with most passes completed at 224.
Well, you make it so far to be one of the best 4 teams in a World Cup. You don't want to play for the third place. But it's something you have to do. And in that case, tomorrow is Croatia is playing Morocco. For Morocco, if Morocco beat Croatia, it's going to be something amazing for the African continent. They never been so far in a World Cup. Let's go to see, let's put the background of Croatia, Morocco's game of tomorrow.
Despite losing to Argentina 3-0 in a flurry of goals from Messi and Julian Alvarez, Luka Modric's squad does not want to leave Qatar empty-handed and will fight for third place in a last-ditch attempt to secure a title against the Africans. Meanwhile, the Moroccans will not throw in the towel and will be eager to continue to prove their level and why they have been one of the great protagonists of this World Cup, although they lost 2-0 to France. Thus, the two teams will meet again after a 0-0 draw in the group stage. Croatia achieved a third place in 1998 France World Cup, being one of the best debuts in the history of the tournament, while Morocco reached the semifinals for the very first time this year and had the best performance ever seen by an African team.
Let's do an exercise. If I ask you who finished third in the World Cup in Russia, would you know it? Who finished third in Brazil, would you know it? Most probably you don't remember. You only remember the champion. But let's go to do like a refresh your memory and see the teams that finish on third place the most times in a World Cup.
The team that has been more time the third place in the FIFA World Cup is Germany. They have won this game in 4 occasions. The German constancy in World Cup has been a mark through the years. In 1934, they beat Austria 2-2 after losing 3-1 against Czechoslovakia in the semifinals. In 1970, they lost to Italy 4-3 but won the third place game 1-0 to Uruguay. In that year, they used the name of West Germany. In 2006, when they host the FIFA World Cup, lost against Italy in the semifinals 2-0, and later they won 3-1 to Portugal in the consolation match. 4 years later, the history was the same. They were defeated by Spain 1-0 and won again to Uruguay in the madness game 3-2 that ended with a free kick from Diego Forlán that impacted in the traverse.
The next World Cup 2026 is going to be hosted by 3 countries, USA, Canada, and Mexico. That takes us to the trivia of the day. Before the break, we ask you a question, and today's question is, when was the last time that more than one country hosted the FIFA World Cup? The answer is going to be at the end of the show. I invite you to follow us on social media, on Twitter, at From the Field. We'll be right back.